Hi, I'm Dr. Richard Crosley. Welcome to Real World Pediatrics. So today I wanted to talk about discipline. Now, I'm pretty sure that you want your kids to be successful in life. Well, if they're going to be successful, the best habit to develop is discipline. It's just not possible to get to the top these days on talent alone. In fact, people who the media portrays as naturally talented are in reality incredibly disciplined people. You've got to be disciplined. And being disciplined means that you have to do the things that you don't want to do. It means that every day is a drudgery of doing the same things over and over. And you have to make yourself like that drudgery. Now, John D. Rockefeller, who is still the wealthiest man in the world when you adjust for inflation, possessed tremendous discipline in his life. He had a very exacting routine in his daily life, getting up at the same hour, taking regular 10-minute naps, and eating only particular foods. He knew what he wanted in life, and he was able to attain it. Now, of course, he was a ruthless person, but he accomplished his goals. At his height, he was worth $497 billion. Now, that's twice what Elon Musk is worth on his best day. How about that? Dan Gable, the 1972 Olympic gold champion in wrestling, was also a disciplined person. He would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym to work out. 3 o'clock in the morning. Now that's why he became a champion. He went that extra mile when other people weren't necessarily willing to commit to that. Troy Aikman, the Super Bowl champion of the Dallas Cowboys, is another person with incredible discipline. When he broadcasts a football game, he writes everything down on a giant sheet of paper as to who the players are, the positions they're playing, their statistics, and any interesting information that he thinks the audience needs to know. He has the discipline to prepare methodically for his broadcast. Andre Agassi, the famous tennis player, was forced every day of his youth to hit tennis balls out of a makeshift ball throwing machine that his father was operating. Now, of course, this made him hate the game of tennis, but it was this discipline that got him to the top. Sidney Crosby, the hockey player, forced himself to relentlessly shoot pucks into an old dryer when he was a kid. It was this discipline that made him great. Okay, let's look at the word discipline. What does it mean? Well, I like to see what the ancients thought about, words. They chose their words carefully. Their words meant something more concrete to them. These days, we tend to just gloss over words. We don't fully understand their physical meaning. Now, the word discipline comes from the Latin word disciplina, which means instruction and training. It's derived from the root word discere, which means to learn. Now, what this implies is a rigorous and repetitive drilling of information. It implies a routine, a consistency of effort that's focused on the matter at hand. Now, that was my experience in medical school. The only way I was going to get through it was to engage in massive study. I was studying 10 hours a day, minimum, and there still wasn't enough time to learn everything you needed to know. One of my classmates, Clifford, he came up to me one day and he said, I don't feel as I even have the time to take a dump. And it was true. So, if you want to finish first in your class in history, you have to discipline yourself to read history every day. If you want to be a top athlete, you have to discipline yourself to practice repetitive movements like hitting a tennis ball or driving a hockey puck into a net. Now, it's not any more complicated than that. The media, unfortunately, tends to simplify success. They tend to make it appear as if superstars are naturally talented, when in reality they had to practice incredible discipline to learn their craft. And when they get to the top, they still practice that discipline. Top violinists still practice, top baseball hitters still take batting practice. You never saw Pete Rose miss a day of batting practice. So do you want your kids to get to the top? Do you want to get to the top? You need to exercise discipline. Forget all this talk about natural talent. Discipline.